What have you seen have been some of the biggest developments in B2B marketing over the last 12 months?
Well, I think obviously the first answer is technology and how technology has really impacted on all B2B marketers. But I've picked up another trend, and I think this is really interesting, and that's companies are investing in their people and training. Because actually, I think for all of us, we now realise our most valuable resource is people.
Yeah, and if we take that a step further to the kind of, in the tech space anyway of B2B, the vendor to channel relationship, it appears to me that vendors can't live without channels, never have been able to, but that connection of the vendor to channel people element is playing out quite strong. We see quite a bit of upskilling in channels, certainly around the marketing piece. Is that something you've seen across your clients?
Absolutely, and I think what's fascinating is within the channel, I admire the fact that they've done this for a long time. Actually, if you look at vendors like Sage and Avaya and others, they've always invested in training their partners. But I see this going beyond that now. I think they're actually going to embed skills with the technology that's being funded for some programs.
If we look at the technology, you know, you've referenced that tech is affecting everything. What are those platforms? What are those big areas that we've seen develop in the last year?
So for me, it's very interesting. It's not the new bit everybody's getting excited about, like AI or machine learning. It's very much technologies that have been around for a long time, but perhaps not utilised particularly well. So there's still many channel partners, as we know, that don't have a core tech stack. Why? Been too expensive, too difficult to implement. There's just been other priorities. However, I see that changing. And I think one of the fundamentals is it's much easier to access now. And there's different models, for example, like Sherpa are providing, which I think is fantastic, where agencies provide backbone tools for channel partners. This is enabling far more companies to have access to really leading edge methods of marketing.
Yeah, and I think if I look at the platforms we've been able to provide in the last year, certainly we've had some vendor support on that, and they've got a role to play because there's that two-way flow of information which is so vital in the relationship. Have you seen anything in the account-based marketing space play out there?
I think this is perhaps the area that is going to be the biggest growth. And account-based marketing really suits channel specialist partners because it's all about focusing on the very best and biggest opportunity. And there's no doubt about it, some of the most recent technology to come on the market is enabling real true personalisation, not just by name, but actually talking to a company's values that you're targeting, talking to their strategy, and actually showing how you as a partner or as a vendor fit into their business strategy. To me, that's super exciting.
One of the things we're seeing with some of the more forward-thinking vendors is that access to platforms, information, and play through into channel. How important do you think that is?
I think it's really important because actually deep understanding of your customers, the personas, the stakeholders involved. As we know, the buying process is deeply complicated today with more people involved. So that's something that vendors and partners and basically everybody involved in the marketing campaign can really contribute to, that shared market intelligence.
Yeah, and I think traditionally vendors have kept that a little bit, you know, close to home, that information. I think they want more collaboration with their vendors, and I think that data points exactly that. But I think one of the other asks, and I don't know if you've seen this, is just the general information flow. Yes, there's great data, but product, marketing messages, sales skill, training, that seems to be or even more of a bigger ask. And
trust lies at the heart of this, and as we know, the channel partner ecosystem perhaps hasn't been blessed with deep trust in the past. And I think there's, on both sides, the need to have a really clear service level agreement, who does what, who owns the data, and that's necessary for the customers as well, and GDPR. But transparency is the heart of really building trust and then collaboration. And sadly, I still see perhaps this is a way to go in this area.
Yeah, and I do think that perhaps the channel and vendors are a little bit handcuffed by that quarterly approach they've always had. It's been around for 25 years, and we're trying to break the cycle of that. And I'm just wondering, you've got a 9-month sales cycle. What you think that vendor channel relationship, or at least the planning cycle, should look like?
I'm really glad you raised planning, Tom, because actually to me, this is where it goes wrong. The alignment isn't there because, as you say, what you're being measured on is different goals. And I think that planning and sitting down and collaborating together and real honesty on both sides, that's where companies who are making real growth have actually done that. That market planning is critical, business critical, and particularly when it's done around the customer. Not what's right for you and your quarterly target, but actually thinking about it from a customer point of view.